Fly fishermen on the Teton River catch their fill of natural beauty and fat, healthy fish. An Idaho company makes the world's most popular drift boat. And a charter boat in North Idaho serves up scenery, companionship, and much more.
Roland, this is a lot harder than it looks.
It really is, and you know those professionals can make it look so easy. Welcome to Exploring Idaho, everybody. Dee and I are out on the river today trying to learn some of the finer points of that true art they call fly fishing.
Trying is right, and art is a good word for it. I think a fisherman who can take a rod and a dry fly and imitate nature is a lot like an artist who imitates nature on a canvas with their brush and paint.
It's not easy to do.
No. But fortunately in Idaho, there are plenty of rivers where you can develop your own artistic style. Today, we explore the Teton River. Once famous for the disastrous failure of the Teton Dam, the river today has recovered into a clear, cold, free-running trout stream. And artists who love to catch fish can't help but be tempted by the Teton's fat, healthy residents. Cutthroat trout, a popular species in Idaho, has found a comfortable niche. They are teeming in the Teton.
That's a decent fish.
Fed by alpine snowmelt trickling off the Teton Mountains, the river is clear and cold. The valley is pristine and secluded. Some stretches so secluded, you have to know who to politely ask in order to fish here.
The access we put on today was owned by a private farmer here, and we get special permission to access the ramp.
Steve Hyde and his father Lemoyne own Hyde Outfitters. Their company is one of just a handful permitted to run the Teton.
It can be a phenomenal river. We've done extremely well on it over the years. And early in the spring and late in the fall, it's one of the finest fly fishing rivers there is.
Shallow riffles, shaded overhangs, and discerning fish wait to challenge even the most talented caster. Today, another father and son, Ray and Kirk Feller, will try the river for the first time.
Ah, it's beautiful. Gorgeous country. Beautiful river.
The four are headed into the canyon stretch, where they'll be closed in by 500-foot walls of lava and no sign of man for miles. A healthy population of rattlesnakes on shore makes the Teton much more pleasant to fish from a drift boat. And at the skilled oars of Steve, Ray and Kirk are quickly positioned to try their best at tricking Mother Nature.
The trick for me, anyway, is relaxing and concentrating and not trying to force the fly to go where I want it to go, but letting the rod do the work. Most of the movement is in my wrist, not in my arms.
They're checking that out, aren't they?
Yeah, they're looking at it.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
Drift boats make the task a little easier. Out in the middle of the river, there are fewer bushes waiting with eager branches to snarl a wandering line. And it's a comfortable ride, at times making fishing as simple as watching your fly float.
It makes it easy to drift along with your fly and get a good cast on it, so you got a good dead drift. So it looks like a natural insect floating down the river on it.
As the outfitter on this trip, Lemoyne may be working, but he's rarely too busy to toss his own fly in the water. It comes naturally. Lemoyne grew up with a fly rod in one hand and a basket of fish in the other.
Yeah, it's been a part of my life for forever. Before it was ever close to being popular, we was doing it. But we did it so we'd have something to eat at night. That was our excuse anyway.
Today, Lemoyne practices catch and release only, a courtesy that is now required on the Teton.
Always bend the barb down, that way nobody gets hurt.
The shallow water allows him to wade alongside his boat and work on another challenge of this art, matching the hatch. Practiced fingers choose a grasshopper pattern.
I think probably the thing that I enjoyed the most is the seclusion of getting out in the mountains. You're with the people and you get to get in on the excitement when they catch the fish. And, it's a great sport. And it's a sport that that a lot of successful people can still get a tremendous challenge in, because no matter how good you get at fly fishing, well, there's still something to learn in it.
This is what they call a cutthroat, and we'll just kind of lay them over here slowly. You see the slashes underneath the throat? That's where they get that name from. They're pretty prominent slashes. And this is a full cutthroat. Sometimes you'll have one that's part cutthroat, part rainbow, but it doesn't have any of the rainbow colors down the side of it. But this is a good, healthy cutthroat. He's got a good belly on him and stuff. He's got some body weight to him.
The barbless hook is easily removed,
All right.
and the fat little guy is set free, to be caught again another day.
That way there's something for the next generation. You might catch the same fish over the period of years several times, but I think it's marvelous.
Rapids up ahead signal the location of the old Teton Dam. What remains stands on the south side of the river channel, a massive pile of weed-covered earth. But more than 20 years ago, the dam attracted national attention to this area. It was June of 1976. The dam suddenly collapsed. Billions of gallons of water were sent gushing onto the communities downstream. 11 people died that day, and thousands lost everything they owned. The fallout from that disaster remains obvious today. The torrent that ripped through here tossed aside boulders and scoured out these riverbanks. But for all its destruction, the disaster did at least some good. It created deep pockets next to the banks, excellent holes to hide the big ones.
We were just fishing at Chernobyl, and he just sucked it in, and it was as if I had a snag. It's a great fish.
There's a big old cutthroat. It's probably 21 or 22 inches.
Good fight.
But it was a great catch. It was great.
And after a day filled with big, healthy cutthroats, pristine scenery, and pleasant company, it's hard to tell who had more fun, the father and son who were fishing,
It's a beautiful river. It's a great experience.
or the father and son on the job.
It's a great place to be a part of nature. It's a much prettier spot in the world.
Lemoyne and Steve say the best time to fish the Teton River is in early spring or late fall, and they offer trips down several different sections of that river. Roland?
Thanks, Dee. As you can plainly see, we're coming to you from the middle of the Boise River today. It happens to be a great fishery that runs right through Idaho's capital city. Joining me today is Tim Burke from the Benchmark, who just happens to be an expert fly fisherman and is here to give us some tips today. First of all, I've given it a try already. It's not as easy as it may look sometimes. What is the key to begin with?
If I had to sum it up in one word, it would be cast. Lots of practice.
Okay, that's why we see people out there on the river all the time practicing that a lot. But the key is to make it look like an actual insect landing on the water, right?
That's true. It's up to the fisherman to actually manipulate the fly in such a way that the fish actually thinks it's a real insect. It's quite a challenge.
Okay, and people practice this all their lives to get to that point,
Yes,
right?
it's a lifelong pursuit. It's not years to get it right, but it just requires time on the water.
Can you go out and on the first try maybe make some successful casts?
Sure, definitely, without a doubt.
Okay, a couple of things that when you're learning, you want to start at a 10 and 2 positioning to send the fly. Can you
Right.
demonstrate that for us?
Sure. The most popular, as you're saying, the casting stroke is from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. That stroke enables you to load the fly rod, which is, it's not the weight of a fly that actually makes a fly rod work, it's the weight of the line and your ability to stop the rod on the back of the cast and stop the rod on the front of the cast.
Sounds like there's some real timing involved.
Definitely a timing issues, and in fact, it's not illegal to watch yourself when you're initially making your first cast, so you can time the line laying out perfectly. Eventually, over time, you'll get to the point where you can just simply feel this timing and you'll be ready to roll from there.
Lots to practice.
Lots and lots of practice.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
Sure, thank you.
Exploring Idaho. We'll be right back.
Coming up, the amazing process of molding and shaping raw materials into a functional ride for river adventure. And later, a dinner cruise in North Idaho whips up a scenic recipe for relaxation. Exploring Idaho will be back in a moment.
Any angler stuck on land can tell you that the really big fish stories are found in the deep holes, out there, on the other side of the bank, farther down the river, anywhere but where you can reach from right here.
In a drift boat, one well-placed stroke of the oar, and you could be in for the most enjoyable fight of your life. The stability and maneuverability of these boats can mean the difference between this and this.
Let a little slack out.
Lemoyne Hyde knows well the advantages of fishing afloat.
You know, if you can get up in the morning and do something you love, not too many people can do that.
And he's not just talking about catching fish. He's talking about his retirement, or what was supposed to be his retirement.
Yeah, I tried that for about a month and a half and decided that I don't ever have a desire to do that.
He found out while building his first retirement project, a drift boat in which he planned to fish away his golden years. But instead of drifting into the sunset, Lemoyne drifted back into business, slowly building up the largest drift boat manufacturing plant in the world.
We're not the oldest company in the country, but we have gone from the new boy on the block to the largest, almost 3 times larger than the closest competitor to us.
These boats are built by hand, the fiberglass shells shaped by his own custom molds, the design influenced by Lemoyne's keen knowledge of the physics of fishing.
Your strength of your boat, of course, is what's going to get you down the river. The maneuverability of the boat is going to get you out of trouble.
Add to that details like an inserted flat floor for easy standing, padded chairs for comfortable sitting, and knee braces so you can reach out for that big catch. What takes shape is a user-friendly, durable, light, and quick boat made by Hyde, the most popular Idaho drift boat in the world.
Looks like a good one. Yeah, it's a pretty short retirement, but it was long enough.
And Dee, you know, that little plant in Idaho Falls turns out about 15 custom-made drift boats every week, and they sell them to buyers around the world.
I can see why. Not only are they functional, but they're really beautiful.
They really are. And a little bit later on in the show, we'll have a telephone number for you to call if you would like more information about how you can buy your own Hyde drift boat. And Exploring Idaho, we'll be right back.
Coming up, a classic old-style vessel serves up scenic cruises and a whole lot more. Welcome back to Exploring Idaho. Well, Jen, I still haven't caught a fish. I wonder why.
Well, I don't know, but I brought the big net for you.
Oh,
so
thank
when
you.
you hook into that big lunker, you'll be able to just scoop him right up.
You have a lot of faith.
Thanks. When you're tired of just hearing all the big fish stories and maybe you want to tell a few yourself, it may be time to take the day off. Invite some friends, maybe some family members, and just get out on the water. We recently took a relaxing trip onto North Idaho's Lake Pend Oreille. We rode a charter boat that runs sunset cruises, but that's not all. They serve up gourmet meals and good relaxation. Lake Pend Oreille's wild beauty was born during a more violent moment of the geologic past. About 80 million years ago, large masses of granite magma pushed upward through the Earth's crust, eventually contributing to a spectacular pair of shouldering mountain ranges. Then came the glaciers. A series of biblical dams and floods ripped through this valley. The gushing waters ran all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Today, the largest lake in Idaho stretches nearly 150 miles in the wandering outline of a crescent moon. It is 6 miles at its widest point and dives to the chilly depths beyond 1,000 feet. But for all its size, Lake Pend Oreille remains somewhat of a secret.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Watch your step.
The lake's vast beauty has not escaped Curtis Pearson or his wife, Linda Mitchell.
Okay.
The two live in the beachfront community of Sandpoint. Together, they operate a charter company which chiefly offers cruises on this boat, the Sean O'Dees.
Hey, there's the boat right there, the green. We're on shore now.
She is a 40-foot remake of a boat Curtis first built in his mind, then tediously built by hand.
From the deck you're standing on, up is all new. I found the hull. It was about 10 miles down the river. To me, it was a good find, and I guess it was in the back of my mind for most of my life to own a big boat, and this seemed to be the only way to afford it was to build it myself.
It took Curtis 2 years to shape, weld, and finish the Shauna D's. In appearance, it is a hybrid of the steam-powered sternwheelers of the late 1800s and the Alaskan fishing trawlers of Curtis's youth. The finished effect is that of a classic old-style vessel, where everything under the hood is brand new.
It's such a classic boat. The Curtis and Linda are such good hosts. And also being out on Pend Oreille, every time I'm on this boat, on Pend Oreille, I just feel like I'm very privileged to be here. It's a wonderful boat to be on.
Since her maiden voyage in 1995, the Shauna D's has tugged around Pend Oreille, sharing with passengers wild mountain views that can only be seen from the water. She explores hidden bays, and each evening outing is accented by a stunning North Idaho sunset.
It's a lot more exciting. You've got the water around you, the atmosphere is a little bit more pleasant, and the people are a lot more interesting to talk about from different natures and walks of life, and it's a different experience.
You might call the excellent scenery and good company appetizers to an evening that is sure to please. But before serving the main course, it's time for a swim.
Come on in, you guys. It's great, really.
In the later months of summer, Lake Pend Oreille warms up to good swimming temperature, and out here, with the engine turned off in the middle of the lake, an early evening swim helps work up an appetite.
We have chicken breasts and some thighs.
At the barbecue, Curtis prepares the main course, grilled chicken with his famous secret sauce.
The only name that I ever called it was Damn Good Sauce by Curtis.
What's in it?
It's top secret. People have been after me for years to get the recipe, and I haven't given it out yet.
Really have to make this out.
The dinner cruises on the Shauna D's feature full-course meals, usually chicken, fish, or steak, complete with salad, a side dish, dessert, and drinks.
Come and get it, you guys. Chow's on.
And with a top deck arrangement like this one, every passenger is treated to the best seat on board.
Having dinner out here on the lake, I feel like I'm a very privileged person, that I live in a very special place, and I have some very good friends. The food is great, the company's very good, and it's just a good time.
It's casual, yet a little bit on the formal side. It's fun. People get to do whatever they like, go where they like. The setting is gorgeous. You can't ask for a nicer setting. You sit out in the middle of the lake, and it's a beautiful night, and you watch the sunset. They love it.
To be on a boat with your best friends, to have a little bit of wine, have a good meal, have a barbecue, and just watch the sunset and the evening stars come out is, you can't beat that here in North Idaho.
Those that are Shauna D's, or hosts.
Well done, Curtis.
Talk about getting away from it all. That is beautiful.
Yeah, it is so pretty up there. And the Shauna D's offers trips year-round, but these late fall cruises are just beautiful. The water's warm, and it's just wonderful right now.
Do they only offer dinner cruises?
They have quite a few different trips. They have just day charter trips, just kind of an outing, day outing kind of affair. And then they also have a special trip called a goat and boat trip. That's where they cruise down to an area in the southern portion of Lake Pend Oreille where mountain goats populate the hillsides. Guests can then step into kayaks and paddle up for a close view of the shaggy goats.
That's a unique experience.
Yeah, really.
Thanks a lot, Jen. Now back to you, Roland.
Thanks, Dee. And now it's time for your Idaho Puzzler. Idaho is the #1 American producer of this tasty crop. And it's not potatoes. Do you know what it is? The answer when Exploring Idaho returns.
If you would like more information on any of the stories you've seen in our show today, call for a copy of the Exploring Idaho Field Notes. The field notes contain valuable information on who to contact, where to go, and how to get there. Best of all, Exploring Idaho field notes are absolutely free. So pick up the phone and dial 1-800-443-2461 to receive your copy of this month's Exploring Idaho field notes. Be sure to request the current show number.
Idaho leads the nation in the production of what mouth-watering crop? The answer is trout. Hatcheries in Idaho produce millions of pounds of fresh rainbow trout and deliver it to grocery stores and restaurants around the world. It's a business that brings more than $70 million a year into our state. This hatchery near Hagerman is the largest single producer of rainbow trout in the world. Each year, more than 18 million pounds of fresh flopping fish are raised here. It's a slimy business that is clearly paying off. I'll tell you what, I've learned a lot today.
And we still have a lot to learn, don't we?
We certainly do. Thanks for joining us on Exploring Idaho. We're going to go practice. We'll see you next time.
Let's do it. Thanks for being with us.